The Confessions of a Recruiter and Ex-Recruiter, happy birthday. We appreciate everyone for the support. The internal team worked tirelessly to deliver this. Over the last 12 months, it's been an incredible journey, so we can't wait to sit back and review what's been.
Reminisce on everything that's happened over the last 12 months, share our first 12 months journey, and then possibly see where we end up in the next 12 months. But before we do that, Declan, mate, make a wish.
Oblivion and beyond.
To the moon.
Oh, haven't had one of them in a long time. Happy birthday.
What an awesome 12 months. Before we get started, though, can we just recognise how damn good we both look right now?
Mate, I could do this every day.
Everyone walking past our office is looking at us like we're two guys in an astronaut suit sitting on a couch with lots of balloons. And we're getting a few looks through the window, which is always nice. It means we're doing something correct. But yeah, 12-month birthday.
Mate, well done.
How does it feel like it's gone long or really, really short?
It felt like a long time throughout the year, but looking back, it went by in a flash.
Yeah, when I came over here from my office, I said to Brian, I'm like, yeah, we're doing our 12-month anniversary first year birthday podcast. And he goes, holy shit, mate. Have you been doing it for a year now? I'm like, yeah. He's like, have you got over 50 episodes? I was like, yep. He's like, wow, that is really impressive. To stick at something for 50 plus episodes, podcasting, speaking to recruiters, trying to bring the industry together. It's actually, it feels like a lot of effort week to week, but you kind of get used to the grind. But then you look back and you go, wow, we absolutely ripped in over the last 12 months.
Well, mate, when I was going back through every single episode over every single month, and we've put together just a timeline, it almost brought a tear to my eye of how much effort the internal team, people willing to come on the podcast, have a chat. And it's all for the first time, mate. Going back to 12 months, there was no recruitment podcast to listen to.
But there's one. There was that Mint guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's okay. So there was one, but like fun, exciting, new age. It's probably, well overdue. So I think we've had some absolute cracker guests on too.
Well, mate, the first one that no one ever heard about, Riley Osborne.
Riley Osborne. Okay, so let's walk everyone through the journey over the last 12 months. I'm sure that if you're either listening now, you've either just heard of us or you've been following us for a little while, and you probably wouldn't mind getting a little bit caught up to everything that's happened over the last 12 months. So we'll spend a couple of minutes just refreshing your memory on everything that's happened and talking about some funny, interesting, and exciting things that happened. So our first podcast 12 months ago was Riley Osborne at Finite Recruitment. Is he still there?
He's still there. He's on holidays at the moment.
That's
making
right.
his way around Europe.
He's doing his Euro trip.
But yes, he's still on the books with them. Unfortunately, the podcast got taken down after.
We can say
6
this
weeks.
shit, right? He's not going to care.
Nah.
Yeah, so he had a cracking podcast, and it was actually extremely funny. And we had probably, I'd say, 10 or 15 DMs saying how good that podcast was. And mainly because it was so raw, unscripted, and just straight from the heart. And he's talking about going out, getting on the booze, his internal relationships at U and how he was rolling up, probably a little under the weather is probably the best way I could put it.
He was talking about clients, the candidates, the fees associated with them.
Yeah.
It was no bars held back for the big fella. But the funny thing was, as soon as he got into the office, was like, boys, I'm not telling anything about nothing. And then he got on and just went for young and old. And if you're an OG listener and supporter of what we're doing here in this movement, then you'll know what it's about. And unfortunately, that podcast, won't ever be released out of respect for Finite, Riley, and the team.
But the moment Riley leaves Finite, it's getting released.
Yeah, it's getting released. It's built into his contract.
Yeah. We've only said that we won't release it because we don't want to jeopardize his employment. So the moment that ends, eventually, then we'll have a special episode coming out. We also had Josh Ainslie.
Full
from
circle
BlackRock.
now.
Mate, 12 months ago, Josh Ainslie from BlackRock came on the potty. Awesome guy. Used to be a cop. Told us about his experience of being a cop. managing sales teams and his experience at BlackRock, and he's actually started at Vendito with me this week. So it's funny how these things happen, hey?
So breeding ground. Was that a tactical invite you placed?
It is. We actually invite everyone we want to employ in our recruitment agencies on the podcast and just chip away at it. So that was a good kind of start to the podcast. Walk us through what happened over the next couple of months.
Mate, it was exciting. September rolled around. Natasha Lee jumped on. She had a very kind, nurturing, funny personality that everyone enjoys following on LinkedIn. So she gave him fresh perspectives on relationships and doing the right thing in recruitment. And I think that's what rounded out September. Like Joel, mate, he's an Energizer bunny.
I love Joel, mate. He's actually I was listening to our podcast the other day, I don't know why, but he is just such good energy, grounded, very humble. He's got his head screwed on Joel. I really have a lot of time for him. Yeah,
he said to one of my mates the other day, he goes, Mark from Smith & Co., he's like, mate, Joel came over the other day, and he's like, mate, why are you so happy all the time? He goes, mate, I was never meant to be anything more than a forklift operator, and now look at me. I've got an agency, got a family, and he goes, mate, anything above driving a forklift, I just save every moment. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
That's awesome.
I think that's something that really put it in perspective. Like, you get so caught up in your own head and day to day that you're never good enough, and you always want more, and you don't really adopt that mindset.
Yeah.
Well, no, I certainly don't.
Amazing.
Atom.
Big Atom came on the podcast from Vendito. That was good, talking about her side hustles, how she manages her desk, the transition between doing retail recruitment now to doing A&D recruitment. That was really good. We had our first and only internal recruiter.
Yeah, and mate, he was a bag of laughs.
Mate, Xander was an absolute legend. It was a very unexpected, and now, Xander, take this in the best way possible. It was a very unexpected, great podcast. I was thinking, oh, here we go. We got a freaking internal recruiter coming in. These guys, the enemy. And he was awesome. Like, he was actually really fun to have on. And then moving on, we had James Foden. We had our first ex-recruiter partner, James Lewin. And then we actually went to Sydney for the first time. We hit the road.
Hit the road. It was a month for James in October. We met James Whitcomb, Andrew Banks, Greg Savage, and David Chambers.
Mate, huge.
That was an exciting time.
That was massive. That was an expensive podcast trip that gets zero return ultimately, but that was definitely worth it, being able to network with Greg Savage, Andrew Banks, learning how Morgan & Banks was established, that turned into Talent 2 and turned into all these other different agencies, which is incredible. From there, though, came back to Brizzy. We're talking November, December right now. Mick Donaghy. Is it Donaghy?
Yeah.
I got that right.
Yeah, came in flaming hot after a long lunch, and he was throwing it down. He had everything going on.
That was a really fun podcast as well. We did our first giveaway, actually. Now, this is hilarious. Okay, so we thought, let's unite the recruitment industry together and get everyone fit and healthy. This is like a thought that went through our mind. Let's, promote health, fitness, get everyone like buzzing and sharp. Yeah. And so we did a $1,000 giveaway to any recruiter that wanted to enter a competition and just do like was it a 6 week?
6 week shred, yep.
A 6 week shred on who could lose the most fat in 6 weeks. We had about 12 people.
No, but remember how the application...
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We had 12 people register. So the way to register was you needed to send a before photo on the day of entry, and then you needed to send an after photo when it all wrapped up. So the email that we put on was our support email, and Mabel, God bless her, we forgot to tell her that this was happening. And so she's running our onboarding and kind of the support back end for all our recruiters. And one day she calls me and she goes, "Hey, Blake, I'm getting some really strange emails. Like, I've had like 3 or 4 guys send me shirtless photos in the last couple of days with what their weight is and the date." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, Mabel, sorry, I fully forgot to tell you. We're doing a fat loss challenge." and I gave your email to everyone to submit their pre-photos, and she goes, "Oh, okay, that's why I'm getting all these shirtless dudes sending me photos."
Just chubby dudes.
Oh man, it was so funny. And then what makes this even funnier is after the 6 weeks, the winner was, who was the winner?
Luke
from Goff. Yeah. So the winner was Luke from Goff, and he did what are those scans?
DEXA scan.
He did a DEXA scan before and after to like get really dialed in with how much fat he'd lose. And it turns out that he ended up losing like a kilo of muscle and putting on 2 kilos of fat and still won the competition. So we ended up giving someone $1,000 for putting on like 2 kilos over 6 weeks because everyone else was even worse than that. So that was very interesting and didn't go the way that we thought it would go, is just giving someone $1,000 for not gaining as much weight as the rest of the recruiters. So that was a very interesting $1,000 giveaway.
But mate, that month I really enjoyed Emily coming on.
Emily Hayden,
yeah,
this week.
Sound healing,
mate, giving away 10% of her revenue to
B Corp.
Oh mate, crazy! Yeah, she's a very holistic type of individual that probably cares far beyond the kind of the corporate vibe that I guess most recruiters typically adopt. Moving on into December 2022. So this isn't long ago, mate. This is like 8 months ago. We had Jessica Mays from Hunted, Narissa from Filter, and then we had our Xrecruiter Christmas party. Jessica Mays was awesome. That was a really good catch up. I love everyone at Hunted. There's a bunch of awesome girls there. They've come to a lot of our networking events, Christmas party events, seen them out. They love to run amok, which is always fun. Good vibes. Narissa was really interesting. Her background was very unexpected. She's done a lot of things in recruitment now. She has successfully built a really solid kind of outsourced agency for virtual assistants.
Brown and Chase, exited that, and then now has done a global recruitment agency for VAs.
Yeah, super impressive. We actually hired 3 or 4. We hired 3 or 4 virtual assistants from Narissa for Vendito to help us with sourcing candidates and so forth as well. So thanks for that, Narissa. But Xrecruiter Christmas party. What even happened there? I don't even remember that.
That was at Howard Smith Wharfs.
Oh,
that was the giveaway. Lukey burnt for $1,000 the same night, buying everyone rounds.
Yeah.
So
that was fun down at Howard Smith Wharves. And then it was, I think we had, okay, so let's just quickly talk about Xrecruiter here because this all kind of ties in together. So we launched Xrecruiter and Confessions of a Recruiter at the same time, August 2022 / September 2022. And I'm not sure if many people know, but James was our first Xrecruiter partner. We basically guinea pigged him for 18 months before we went to market with Xrecruiter from like 2020 to like 2022. And just to make sure that we're not crazy and this whole business model kind of idea would hold water, it could work in reality and in theory. And so it ended up being really good for 18 months. With James. So it gave us the confidence to go, all right, let's go to market and just figure out who else we can help start their own agency. Sorry, excuse me. And the first person that ended up trusting us and was our first official sign-up was Crystal from Industry Talent. And so she signed up end of that year, which was, our first sign-up. And we really appreciate everything that Crystal's done for us, and it's obviously an equal partnership, but the first person to really trust us and go, you know what, I like these boys, and I'm going to give them my hard-earned money and take a risk with starting a recruitment agency with them. So Crystal left Goff Recruitment and started Industry Talent, and she's absolutely crushing it. So one of the best decisions she's ever made, from her own words. And then Christmas came, New Year's came, 2023 this year, and we thought it's time to level up and go hard. So walk us through kind of the first 3 months, I guess, of Confessions and how it's all kind of transpired.
Yeah, mate. Well, we kicked things off with a another $1,000 review, another $1,000 giveaway for the first quarter.
You'd assume we've got lots of
The
money,
money.
giving $1,000 away all the time, but we really don't.
We've withdrawn. We haven't done 1,000 giveaway in a while.
Yeah,
Um,
we've got okay. We're gonna stop doing this.
You'll
or we're
learn
going
from your
broke.
mistakes.
Yeah,
Um,
no more $1,000 giveaways.
But this one went off. This one had a way bigger impact. $1,000 giveaway. Who could get the most Google reviews in the first quarter? Drue from Hunted.
40 Google reviews or
Yeah,
something. It was
just
wild. It was crazy.
Absolutely crushing it. We also gave away another $250 to Marton at Iconic. He was a black horse, grey. What is a black horse? Came out of nowhere.
Is that the
like-
Black Horse, Logan?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Black Horse. Dark Horse.
Dark horse.
He was a dark horse because he came back in like the last 7 days. He was not top 3, and then he just skyrocketed one day.
Came out of nowhere. So that was really cool. So we gave away more than $1,000, $1,250.
I think what's really special, and to probably point out for all these giveaways, is these aren't giveaways for just like our own staff, our own business. We're really trying to encourage the whole community of recruiters, whether you're at Hayes, Randstad, a big corporate, a small boutique. It doesn't really matter. We're all kind of in the same industry. We all want to participate and have fun together. So all these kind of giveaways and incentives we put on for, basically just trying to get everyone together and get everyone having fun together and competing together, which I think we're starting to make it some really good traction.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. And that brings us into February. Like Sean McCambridge, mate, going to sound cliche, but an absolute stellar story.
Yes.
Starting with 3 mates in recruitment, all $1 million billers, built a phenomenal business. I think they had to exit one of the partners early on, so that was a story to go through. And, Stellar is what it is now, one of the biggest recruitment agencies based out of Brisbane.
Yeah.
Huge mining. So, mate, he's just got an awesome story. He's a G.
Yeah, Sean is one of the first people I ever reached out to when I first started Vendito, and he's very charitable with his time. He's a really giving guy, and he was one of my favorite podcasts. Actually, we probably could have gone for way longer with Sean, but I guess we were just still kind of working out our podcast rhythm, and we probably wrapped it up too early in hindsight because he had a lot of really good stuff to say. Then we had Rav. He was awesome. Rav's really good. Renegade
Mate,
recruitment.
Just honest to the core.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just says it how it is. Straight up bloke. He got through 75 hard. That's tip my hat to him.
Wow.
That's what he was just starting the day we met him.
Yep.
And then Drue from Hunted, one of the most bubbly candidate managers
You've ever
I've
met?
ever met.
Yeah.
I think 17 placements or 14 placements in her first month. Surely that's a record.
Yeah,
for
crazy.
recruitment.
For real estate recruiter.
recruitment.
Then we had Sean Stewart.
Sean's
Love Sean. We love Seanzy at Finite Recruitment. Thanks for coming on, Sean. That was he dropped a lot of knowledge bombs around the divide your billings by how many hours you work, and that's your hourly rate. And so I think that was a really a big gold nugget that Sean was able to share with us, which is awesome. Hallisoft turned 2 years old. So that's really exciting. The first recruiter that joined Xrecruiter successfully went past 2 years, which 95% of businesses don't go past their 2 years. So huge effort for Hallisoft and James. So that was exciting. And last but definitely not least, and probably the most exciting out of all of this,
found out we're having a baby.
found out Declan's having another baby. He's going to have his 3rd child on the way. He doesn't look like he's got 3 kids, but everyone seems extremely shocked when they find that out. And when's he due?
Any minute.
Any minute, yeah, true.
Dee
Actually,
was in hospital last week.
Yeah.
Having some steroid injections to keep the little fella in.
What's his name?
I don't know. Cooper, Hugo, Hugh, they're sort of the names.
I like Hugo.
Hugo, yeah.
Hugo seems to be getting used a lot recently. That's the only downside, but Hugo's good.
Cooper Kluver.
Cooper's good.
So, yeah, they're sort of the ones. We haven't picked one yet. I like to wait till they're here and then you know.
Yeah. You look at their little face and you go, you're a Hugo.
Or you're a Barry.
You're a Rupert. Sean Anderson from Foxo.
Hoxo?
It's Hoxo, yeah.
Hoxo,
We
yeah.
got Foxo down on our notes here, but it's actually Hoxo. He's a really nice guy. And you know what I really appreciated that he said that has stuck with me? When you're in business, you think eventually it's all going to go well and it's all going to be nice and smooth sailing and everything's going to be just a well-oiled machine. But it's never the case. One problem is swapped out for another problem, and it's always constantly grinding, growing, painful. And so if you're expecting to go into business and it's just smooth sailing, it never will be. And that kind of changed my mindset a little bit to go, you just got to learn to love it. You can't just expect everything to go right.
Yeah.
And this is the ride. This is the journey we chose. Sam Mikolos.
She knows all about that.
Yeah. She's
$70
crushing it.
million recruitment agency, Cornerstone Medical. What a phenomenal woman.
Yep.
Team player.
Sam was
up for
really fun to
anything.
have on.
Yep.
She was like surprisingly fun and warming and friendly. Generally, I've seen a display picture on LinkedIn and sometimes you go, oh, I wonder what they're like. And I was going down a different pathway there for a moment. I pulled myself up, thankfully. But she was awesome. I love Sam. I see her at Gasworks and
Well, mate, they're literally just
and
down the road.
and GYG at Emporium all the time, actually. Well, old Emporium, whatever it was.
She doesn't mind a little burrito.
Doesn't mind a burrito. And then we released our recruitment insights that was pulled from Ibis World. Cost us, I don't know, $1,000 or something. Geez, we've got a bit of a running theme here, don't
$1,000
we?
theme.
That was really good. Got awesome feedback on that. A lot of recruiters didn't realize what the industry averages and statistics were. So that was really fun. And then we were featured in Ozpreneur.
Yeah, our first PR article. Thanks to Logs.
Yep.
Hooked that up. That was
Logs
pretty cool.
reaching out to Ozpreneur and they liked what they heard. So they ran an article on Xrecruiter and Confessions and that was really, really fun. The next quarter, I guess we're going to, is now April, May, June, which again is not, was like, what are we talking, 5-6 months away? But before we get there, the first quarter in for us, and the reason why we're wearing these astronaut suits is because Q1 of this year and Q2 of this year has been game changing for us. It's been extremely exciting and entertaining, being able to launch recruiters through Xrecruiter, allow them to start their own brand and see all these wins. It obviously takes a little while from when they make the decision to when they're actually launched and billing, but the first 2 quarters of this year have been phenomenal and really, really exciting to know that our vision and our dream and our idea has kind of started holding water and actually making some progress and people are seeing Xrecruiter now and seeing Confessions and going, oh yeah, if you want to start an agency, you just do it through Xrecruiter. Or, oh yeah, have you listened to Confessions of a Recruiter podcast? And now it's fascinating and exciting and super rewarding to be able to, one, actually create an idea in our heads and just execute it and it actually work and we're getting awesome results and making impact and changing people's lives. So that's probably one of the most inspiring and kind of admirable things that I feel that I'm proud of myself with around what we've been able to achieve in the first 6 months of this year. Because really it's, our 6 months last year from like September to December, we were still trying to figure it out. Trying to figure out what our message was to market, how to talk to people, what the value adds were and all that kind of stuff. And now that we've been able to launch so many recruiters and successfully too, like ultra successfully, now it's starting to all become so much more real and exciting.
Yeah, and it's an emotional time. Like sitting there the other week at Lisa's launch and what she said about us, and it's just like, I don't know, it's euphoric. For everyone involved,
there's something about it where because it's not just, you're not just in recruitment, people get a buzz on making a placement and maybe you get a little bit numb to that and you're just making placements. But then when you go from making placements to technically making another placement, but you're getting them to open their mind on what's possible and leverage their existing skill set. So a lot of people have like amazing skills, intelligence, work ethic that if just unlocked and put in the right scenario, they could like increase their quality of life, their income, their whole trajectory of their career and lifestyle.
And
a lot of
networks, connections.
yeah, and a lot of people have such good foundations already. They just need someone to help them get to that next step. And so, you know, that's obviously what's missing and why a lot of people don't go down the path of starting an agency, because, you know, there's a stat that came out the other day that, you know, 70% of agencies don't last longer than 12 months. And so I think the reason for this is they don't have the support and the community and the backing of other people that want them to succeed. So, you know, hopefully we're going to see more people build the courage and the confidence to go, okay, you know what, I can do this. You know, look at all these other people doing it.
And even if you're not going to be the one on the front line, the thing that gets me excited, like the amount of, you know, odd messages I get once a week or once a month, someone wanting to pick my brain about something, or, you know, the amount of podcasts, recruitment podcasts that we're seeing now that people are starting. And you're like, shit, that was because we sat in that room 12 months ago. We did something that we hadn't seen before. We said, let's give it a crack, and it's inspired people to push, think outside the box, add more value to the industry. And one of the important parts was around this time was when we started the DD process, or actually successfully got through the DD process and became a partner of the RCSA, a preferred partner. That was such a big milestone around that time of year, because it solidifies the importance of leveling up the industry, having more impact, having good practices, doing the right thing. And making sure the whole industry, you know, is better together.
Yeah, I think this is like probably something that we don't harp on enough, but, you know, having a preferred partner badge from RCSA it's not easy. You know, RCSA have to audit your legals, audit your ethics, audit just the spirit of how you conduct business, and make sure that you're doing things in a good, fair spirit of clients, candidates, partners, suppliers, contractors, whatever it might be. And so it took six months for RCSA to go, actually, you know what, these boys are running something pretty special here. They've got a good attitude about it. They've got a good mindset about it. They're genuinely caring and looking after other people in our industry, and they're making a really positive impact. And, you know, when we got that kind of rubber stamp to say, you know what, Xrecruiter. And I think we've got a quote from Charles, you know, even Charles Cameron, the CEO of RCSA, even says, you know, RCSA are proud to partner with Xrecruiter to support new agencies with compliance and best practices, and making sure that they're set up for success. And when you're recognised by the industry body of staffing and employment to say, hey, these guys at Xrecruiter, 6 to 12 months in, they're making a huge impact and they're going about it the right way, is something really exciting. And it's something that, you know, should be a pretty big badge as well, that, you know, we can wear pretty proudly to say that, you know, it's not just, you know, we're not here scrapping together ideas and winging it. We're making sure that compliance, insurances, systems, processes, all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted, so everyone's comfortable, confident, and has the best foundations for success. So good thing to bring up RCSA, actually.
Yep. And then, mate, jumping back to the pod, that was a huge month. We had Martin from Martin from Iconic, which is a great podcast. Mate, I like just his drive and ambition. Was like going down the acting route, which you can tell he's up for anything. He's a good bloke.
Yeah.
Cass and Paul, mate,
absolute powerhouse couple.
Incredible.
Yeah. $4 million biller. Crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Contractor. Nicole, she was really lovely from the UK. Had a great many stories.
Ange and Mark, Smith & Co. You new besties.
New besties, yeah. The girls have struck something off, mate. You're getting a bit jealous, are you?
I am, mate. Kat tells me every day, she goes, why is Ange and Deanna hanging out all the time?
Mate, just good people around good people.
Yep.
But yeah, they had one of the best starts I've ever heard in
amazing
starting the business.
Yeah, amazing start in their agency, and they just had a new baby, little baby boy, was it?
Little baby girl,
Summer.
Summer.
Little baby girl, Summer. Sorry.
Met her the other day.
Couple of weeks old. Yeah. Have you had all your injections, mate?
Hey?
Don't you have to have all these injections before you meet someone's newborn?
Oh, we've got them from our kid.
Oh, true.
Hey, just wanted to jump in here. We got a confessions hotline, so give us a call, send us a text if you want to share any juicy stories, or even just ask a question that's been on your mind, because we'd love to hear from you. The phone number is 0485 865 483. Enjoy the rest of the show. Jem.
Gemma Valentine. She's awesome. Came up from Sydney. Rector does a good job. Oh, geez, we've got a bit here for April. Holy shit, that was a big month.
Huge.
Yeah.
April Fools.
Proposed to Deanna, mate.
I did, Byron Bay.
How good.
She said yes.
She said yes.
Yes.
That is the main thing. So
I've got a
mate,
story about that
tell us.
quickly. So Sophie, one of Dee's friends, Sophie and Paul, they live in Byron, pretty much. I was organising the proposal, had everything planned. We're at Blues Fest, having a few drinks, letting loose on the Friday night. I'm there, I'm chatting to Sophie. She's like, yeah, you're so excited for Sunday. I'm like, what do you mean? It's Saturday. That's when I'm proposing. And she's like, no, Sunday. And I'm like, are you trying to trip me up here because you're trying to be funny? And she's like, no, I've booked everything for Sunday. The restaurant's booked for Sunday. I said, but everyone's organised the Easter's Sunday. Everyone's organised to come down on Saturday. And then she's like, oh my God, are you serious? I'm like, yes, I'm at Blues Fest trying to find a venue to have, 15 of us. So I'd planned the proposal at Watergoes, and then we're going to go up to Ray's for dinner or Ray's for lunch, and then everyone would be there. And then they couldn't find a solution for me, refunded my money. Luckily, Deanna randomly booked that Byron Bay Italian.
Oh, yeah.
Called them.
Awesome place.
Yeah, took over her order and said, hey, we need it for 15 people. They're like, yep, all right. The fact you're proposing, we'll make it happen. It was only ordered for 6. Sophie then had to tell Deanna on the Saturday, she's like, oh, baby brain, I've booked us a spa day. And Dee's like, why am I going to a spa day with my friend? I'm at an Easter holiday with my family. Like, why do I have to do this? And it was also we could get the ring in the house, organise everything. And then it was just nothing went to plan. Jumped in the car, and then Dee's driving the car. And we're trying to find a park at Watergoes.
I remember this, mate, and you were stressed to the fucking tilts, mate. You were
and
so
I had Adam and his girlfriend there waiting to video the moment. I had a microphone stuck to my body. Yeah, mate, nothing ever goes to plan, they say. And then we just jumped out on the top of the hill, and everyone's like, yeah, awkwardly standing there. And I had to propose in front of the whole beach.
Mate, that video is so good. It's just like Deanna just not really wanting a bar of it. Like, why the fuck are we here? Can we please go? And then it's just you like, shit. All right, now I'm just going to do it. Mate, that was awesome.
And mate, big news for you.
Yes.
We're 2 months apart, us two.
Yeah.
Now our kids are going to be 2 months apart. You and Kat found out you're having a baby.
I know, mate. We've got a little baby on the way, due in December. So don't know if it's a boy or a girl. It's going to be a surprise. But Kat's starting to feel it now because it's only a couple of months away. But yeah, that'll be exciting. We'll add another to the fam, which is fun.
The little Thompson colony is growing.
The little Thompson clan. Planning the road trip. So we had a massive road trip through regional to parks to see one of our ex-recruiter partners, Jack. That was super exciting and super fun to go see him out there. Logan, Adam, we all kind of cramped into a van the first night. We drove 12 hours from Brisbane to Parks, 12-hour drive. We didn't do a podcast. We went straight to dinner. We did a dinner.
Well, mate, yeah, you're jumping it. Yeah. That was
Am I jumping it?
Yeah, that was the planning of it. A lot went into that.
Oh, that's the planning. I'm jumping a lot.
And we
Sorry, mate.
scripted and filmed the staple ad.
The staple ad. That's
Oh,
now live, mate. That's going for it. So had some awesome feedback on the staple ad. That was super fun.
And then May was Talent X, baby.
Talent X, baby. That was a really good, enjoyable time off recruitment. Just doing heaps of random shit. Going to Talent X, going to the after party, doing the podcasts, all that kind of thing. It was an absolute whirlwind, working like 12, 14-hour days. And it will tell you what, it takes it out of you when you've got to do 3 podcasts for the day, go hit the piss, wake up again 4 hours later and do another 3 podcasts. So it was, probably in hindsight, we could have just chilled out a little bit and spaced that out. But, you never know until you try these things.
10 podcasts in 3 days.
10 podcasts in 3 days. And I don't know if anyone's done a podcast, but if you have, you'll probably know that it takes a lot of energy. Like, you can't just be this like boring kind of, and it's a little bit tough when we do our podcast at 5:30
After a full day of work.
after recruiting all day, and your brain's fried, and then all of a sudden you got to go to a podcast, meet someone you've never met before, bring them on the podcast, get your energy back, and have a conversation. So it's not easy, but we seem to knock it out consistently, which is good.
And Lee was on that month as well.
Yep.
We-
PNC.
PNC Partners.
I love Lee. He's such good fun.
Yep, he's a legend. We launched Yakka and Digital Talent Lab in Sydney. That was exciting. Jack had his whole office branded and everything like that.
Yes, he's got a kick-ass office, mate. Wowee.
He goes all in.
Yeah, 100%. And then had a really nice dinner with Nicole at Digital Talent Lab. So, meeting her family. See, that's the thing. When you place a candidate, you just place a candidate. But, when we're helping recruiters set up their own business, we get to meet their family, sit down with them, have dinner with them, get to know them, and it gets really personal. And I think that's what I really enjoy about Xrecruiter is we can get kind of personal with people and get to know them and understand them and really figure out how we can help level up their game. And so, there's so much reward in that.
100%.
Next month, June. This is only a couple months ago.
Mate, it feels like a long time ago.
Yeah, mate. I'm reading this and I'm like, what the hell? This was a few months ago. It feels like forever.
Jess Kimber,
Jess Kimber, rec to
Mate.
rec.
she's got it going on.
She does, mate. She's the, what did we call her?
Shows-
The Australia's trendiest recruiter.
yeah.
Yeah. She's dripped out. Dripped out in
Designer clothes.
designer clothes.
Yeah,
Yeah. John Burke, he's good fun. Starting recruitment
He
helps.
laughs like Humphrey Bear.
yeah.
He's got a
Yeah.
belly laugh.
Yeah. Nina, she was actually okay. Nina and Emily, from Beaumont, Emily from Wow, were both awesome podcasts. I really love those podcasts. One, Nina, because she's just an operator and she's really fun too. Doesn't she do acting? And she's an ice hockey player.
Yeah, ice hockey player.
Impromptu ice hockey acting.
And the president of the RCSA.
President, she's an absolute weapon. She's actually really, really good to talk to. And I wish we had more time to talk to her, actually, because there's probably so many things we weren't able to cover off in that one podcast.
I think there's going to be a couple people coming back.
Yep,
For
we're going to do
round
V2. Emily McLeod, Wow Recruitment.
Oh, she gets it, eh?
I think that's my number one podcast, to be honest. When people ask me, thanks for chatting to me, blah, blah, blah. I see you've done a podcast. Which episode should I watch? Generally, I say, go watch Emily McLeod's podcast. That was actually super fun. The thing that I like about Emily McLeod's podcast is not that many people do this on our podcast, but there's no, I better watch what I say because someone's listening type of.
Well, do you remember the statement she said at the end? I tried really hard to be as honest as I possibly could, even if I didn't want to actually say the answer. And it's that's why it went off. Same
Yeah.
with Riley.
That was such a fun podcast. Emily McLeod, she's an absolute legend.
She's in the 2-year club. Started an agency after 2 years.
Yeah, actually, we should start a 2-year club.
Ephraim's in it. John Burke's in it. Jess Kimber's in it.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, don't know about Jeff, but yeah, John.
Ephraim?
Ephraim, yeah. 2 years
From
recruitment
Collar?
experience. Yeah.
Oh, wow, good on him.
Yeah. Talent X, Dior giveaway. That was huge.
That went off.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
blinging out.
Yeah.
Wasn't that?
Everyone had to just get a photo with us and they got the chance to win a Dior bracelet. So that was really good. The RCSA Awards night, we were MCing.
Unofficially?
Unofficially MCing at the RCSA Awards night in suits behind a media wall, interviewing people
All
that
the
won,
winners.
all the winners of the RCSA event. So that was pretty funny. Oh, actually, let's just give a little special shout out to Big Johnny.
Oh, yeah. He's been pivotal.
Okay, so John Towie, head of partnerships of RCSA, is such good value. One, he's a smart cookie. I don't know why, but for some reason, you don't expect the level of intelligence and acumen that John actually has. He is a really,
What are you trying to say, mate?
No, I'm just saying that he's an operator and he's super funny and compassionate and friendly. He's got it all going on. And so it's not something that you know, when we first met him, when he flew up to Brisbane, and we caught up with him at that coffee shop.
Coffee shop.
Yeah, and you know, I didn't know
One
what
street over from where we first got into recruitment. How weird was that?
That was weird. And, you know, John's flying up and he's like, yeah, mate, guys, I'm keen to catch up with you and figure out what she's all about and, you know, see what's doing. And I'm thinking, oh, here we go. And he just ended up being a legend. And he has been such a massive supporter of Xrecruiter and everything that we're trying to do, Confessions of a Recruiter. And so we really, really appreciate our partnership with RCSA and John for making everything happen and looking after us and being a big brother to us and kind of guiding us and assisting us in things that, you know, probably we weren't aware of until he's helped us out. So big shout out to Johnny Boy for being there for us for sure.
And then, mate, the partners lunch, end of financial year. You
That was
came in
fun.
hot and heavy for that, puppy. After a staff Christmas party.
No, it was
No,
my end of
it's like
financial year. So I had
the
end
day
of
before.
financial the night before. So I had Vendito, my recruitment agency's end of financial year, and things got out of hand. Like, I don't normally drink that much. And I was not going to go to the end of financial year for the partners lunch. And I had Declan just like, come on, mate, you better be here. And I had 2 cold showers to try and get me to get to that lunch, mate. And I was so cooked. I couldn't even like look straight. I had to keep my head still because if I like moved my head, I'd start to get head spins. It was not fun at all. But then we ended up going on Grow a Small podcast.
Yeah,
Grow a
Troy.
Small Business podcast. Troy.
Truant. Mate, he's got a lot. He messaged me the other day. He's got a lot of good feedback from that, and it was cool.
Man, he's
He's done a fair bit of shit.
mate, he has killed it. His newsletter, was it blog? Newsletter?
Yeah, blog.
Mate, there's some good stuff on that actually. I've been reading that recently. It comes through once a month.
Yeah, if you want a good How to Grow a Small Business podcast, listen to Troy Truant. It's a really good one.
Yeah, 100%. And
H
then
People, baby.
what's this?
We launched H People.
Oh,
The boys.
the boys! I can't believe that was
3
fucking
months.
90 days ago, mate. They have crushed it in the last 90 days. For anyone that hasn't seen my post literally today or 4 days ago, if you know it's Monday and you're seeing this, H People, right? Get this. H People should be wearing this outfit.
yeah, we'll
right
get
now.
them the personalised ones.
Yeah, we need to get the H People astronaut suit.
Orange
Because
ones.
in the firstly, a temp recruiter, they usually have the golden handcuffs. They build up a temp desk. They never want to leave it because they work so hard to build it up. And the thought of starting again is painful. Not only that, like starting a desk from scratch in temp again is tough, but trying to figure out the onboarding, the contractors, the insurance, the payroll, how to fund it, and do all this kind of stuff is usually really overwhelming for temp recruiters, right? It's overwhelming for us half the time. And they have gone from leaving their agency to starting their own through Xrecruiter. You know, luckily we obviously had a lot of the systems and processes and funding in place ready for them to go, but you know, that's not the reason why they're so successful. They obviously are so successful because they just ripped it so hard and they're just such good energy to have in the office because they work out of the Xrecruiter office. So
You're calling it that now.
this is technically more of an Xrecruiter office than blended, mate. So this is the Xrecruiter office moving forward. I'm glad we've established that. But yeah, H People. So let me give you a little bit of a lowdown on H People just as a bit of a summary so we can clip this up into a little clip and post it. H People have started their blue collar temp agency and within 91 days have billed $250,000.
97.
297.
Yep.
Oh, mate, I shortchanged them on my post.
Yeah, it's 297.
Billed $297,000. They're making $22K a week in income from their contractors, and they've got 80 contractors out in their first 91 days. That's fucking crazy.
Plus perm.
Plus, they've done 100K in perm or something like that. So the fact that they've been able to go from a dead start, they were super ethical. They didn't take any clients from their previous agency. They just went straight from scratch and hit the road hard. And within 90 days have made $300,000. They're making $100,000 a month in their first 3 months of business. Who does that? And so that is so inspirational, and I admire those guys so much for being able to achieve that in such a short amount of time. And it just also solidifies that we're doing the right thing with Xrecruiter, being able to give really special, talented people the platform that they can achieve greatness. And it's just awesome to see and unreal to watch.
Yeah, I love working with them every day. You really notice it when they're not here, but they're out on like client visits. And that brings us to July, mate. So the last 2 months to round out the year on what 12 months has been for this, this dream, this movement is just, it's incredible, mate. Ephraim knows what it's all about. He's
fastest growing recruitment agency in Australia, came on to the fastest growing recruitment podcast in Australia, and he had a lot of value bombs to share. They're still growing, mate. You know what? Every time a post comes up, he's got an award for this. He's a finalist for that. He's sponsoring this football team. He's got this compliance, that. It's like, mate, this guy is just absolutely going hard. Like, you got to commend him on that. He is going so hard, and it would not be easy. So good on him.
Yep, 100%. Sophie Robertson, mate. I'd never placed a temp role, but if I wanted to learn off anyone, I reckon she would be the best coach for me.
Yep. Unique Coaching has an awesome book, How to Build a Temp Desk. So we've actually got a copy. Is it here? It's usually on our desk.
Usually is, yeah. I think we were going through it with H People earlier.
Yeah. Ali and Sally from People Fusion.
Shout out Newcastle.
Ali and Sally were awesome to have on. Their whole team is such a good vibe. I think the next time we go down or even go past there, we've got to definitely stop in with Al and Sal. Had Sarah from Level. She was awesome. Really good insights into what she's doing. We had Shani and Chris from SC People moving up from
Newcastle. Now to the Goldie.
Newcastle, yeah, now in the Goldie. And then we had a couple of agencies launch in July, actually. It was a very busy July in Xrecruiter. We had the Recruit Group, H People, Harwell Consulting, Limitless, all open for business, and all billing, what's this, 383,000, all of them in their first month.
Yeah. That's just them.
Okay, so let's have a little bit of a rundown here on the results that these guys are getting. H People, first 90 days, 300 grand in income, I should say. Income, not just revenue, income. Harwell Consulting.
126K in their first period.
4 weeks. In first 4 weeks. 160K in their first 6 weeks. Limitless, 100K in her first 2 months. The Recruit Group, what did he do? 60K or something in his first 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild.
No, more. 80.
80.
Yeah.
So like all these new agency owners, like the preconception is as soon as you go into business, you're going to be on, tuna and rice for 6 months and not make any income. And then just seeing these guys in their first 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks of business, absolutely smashing it out in the park. It just gets me so G'd up. So congrats to the Recruit Group, H People, Harwell Consulting, and Limitless for all launching in July, and then just absolutely crushing it. So congratulations to you guys.
And then, mate, last month, to round out the year, Sam and Jory, we've said so much about them. They're stellar guys. They came on the podcast for a chat. They're that good at recruitment, mate. A temp walked into the wrong business and Sam ended up keeping him there for 12 months. That's just how good Sam is.
That is so good.
He gets recruiters from other agencies sending in their temps. They go to what they think is their own agency and they go into his business. That's how good he is. Crystal Parker from Verve Partners. Mate, you missed out on her. The swordfish got you good. Your first sick week ever.
Mate, that was, yeah. How was she?
Awesome.
Loved her?
Yeah.
Awesome.
She takes a really different approach to recruitment on her pivotal role in Verve Partners. She's not on the tools. What's it like to break through glass ceilings from Randstad, and really driving, from a business perspective, marketing, frontline on a bigger vision for Verve Partners, which is pretty exciting. Mate, this is awesome. If this happens, it'll just be so surreal.
Finalist, Young Entrepreneurs of Brisbane nomination.
Startup
Brisbane
of the year.
Startup of the Year. Let's go, baby. So what does finalist actually mean, though?
We're at top 5 startups.
Top
Brisbane.
5 startups in Brisbane
That
for...
started a business last year, started trading in 2022.
Amazing. So, 1 in 5. Do we know who else has been nominated?
No,
No.
I don't know till tonight.
Okay.
So-
That'll be interesting. That's only a couple of weeks away.
And then the Harwell Consulting launch party. Mate, I was spewing I missed out on that, but that
Yep.
was one hell of a ride
Yep.
for everyone, yours included.
Yep.
Swish Boot Camp, mate, shout out to Tucky. He's been pivotal for us in being able to, get the sales part down packed, tell our story, share stories in an ethical way. So that's what they stand for, ethical sales training. So really, that was a fun boot camp. Me, Adam, Harvey, and Lisa all attended.
That's awesome.
Great 3 days.
Yep.
STEM People and Candidate Path in the US both opened that month, which was really exciting. So big things to come from them. And then it was a huge month. I think it was like 600 and something across the group.
671K or something
Yeah.
like that for the month. Yeah, that was a wild, massive, massive month. Tech Talent, Trek.
Both open.
Mate, we're pumping these recruitment agencies out, mate.
Well, mate, I just think the belief is there now. It's real. And what's more important, it's not about believing in Xrecruiter. It's about these people believing in themselves.
Yep.
Because that's all you need. You just need someone that says, mate, I believe in you. And then you get that momentum and you can change your life forever, honestly.
Yep.
So to round this episode out, we're just so grateful. And I just want to give a big shout out personally to Chris White as well.
Yeah, you know
He's
what?
been an absolute gentleman.
So Chris White from Pay Australia, he is, we say all the time that he's our big brother. He has looked after us extremely well over the last 12 months from just understanding that the financial operations of a big business, and what to look out for, things to avoid. And so, he's been really awesome to work with, to essentially be our CFO of Xrecruiter, and he's really, really good value. Thanks so much, Chris, for everything that you've done for us over the last 12 months. We really appreciate it. Hopefully we're going to have many, many more years to come.
It's exciting times, mate. And also that just a lot of other people we want to thank, obviously our partners and stuff, but the internal team, that is Logan, you've been here from day one, mate. Mabel was the second team member. Samantha came into accounts, and mate, working with family, touch wood, it doesn't go any bad, but mate, it's really good at the moment.
Awesome.
Which is awesome. And then the team's pretty much doubled in the last 2 months. We've got Paige and Ryan, which have joined us, and also Grace as well.
Yep.
And we are hiring a couple of more people as well. So it's just so we can provide that extra layer of support and give more for our partners so they can level up their businesses.
Yep, 100%. And moving on to some awards. Hole in One.
This is it, mate. Hole in One. These are the top putters for the last
Why
12
aren't
months.
I on this?
This is this year.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is for last year. 12 months just been.
I just did that.
Yeah, well, you have some cake, mate. All right, here we go. Drum roll.
And the winners are, for the Hole in One for Confessions of a Recruiter, these winners will be receiving a trophy over the next fortnight, and it will be getting posted to your office address. We have first person off the bat. Let's start that again. 6 people have won the Hole in One for Confessions of a Recruiter putting, and that is number 1,
Josh Ainslie.
Josh Ainslie.
From Bandito.
From Bandito. And we've got next,
Sean McCambridge from Stella.
Sean McCambridge.
He's an athlete.
Mate, didn't he putt a hole in one left-handed
Yep.
the
When he's
wrong
right
way?
in. Yeah.
Oh, mate, that's got to be actually at the top there. But awesome work, Sean. Next we have Cassandra.
From Lime
Did
Recruitment.
Cass do a hole in
Yeah,
one?
Cass.
Oh, man.
Hey, she's a $4 million bill, a top performer. Hole
yeah,
in one's
true,
nothing.
True, yeah. Well done, Cass.
I'm surprised Lee got this, mate. He
Hey.
would have been about 6 scotches deep swinging around that club.
Lee Pollard, hole in one, mate. He knows how to do it. Well done, Lee.
Well done to Johnny Burke. Put that in the room.
Berkey got
Berkey got it.
Whoa, Berkey, starting recruitment. Good job, Berkey.
Yeah, Berkey. And Crystal Parker, mate. Well done.
The one that I wasn't here for.
Yeah.
Oh,
she got a
good
hold
job,
in one.
Crystal.
Well
good
done.
job, Crystal. Well
They
done.
are the industry's best putters.
The industry. They are the best putters in recruitment in Australia. So you guys can,
Bask in the glory. Because this
Yeah.
doesn't come out easy. There's 46 other people which couldn't do this.
Mm-hmm.
So well done to them.
Congratulations, guys, for your hole-in-one. Thanks for coming on the podcast, participating, having some fun, doing the putt, and it's been really, really fun.
Now this is the one that every year is going to be the most highly sought after award that comes out of Confessions of a Recruiter.
The MVP.
The most valuable podcast for the year. Blake, tell it who.
Emily McLeod from Wow Recruitment.
Yay!
Good job, Emily. I think I've said this too many times already, but that was one of my favorite.
The community agrees.
The community agrees. The amount of feedback on Emily's podcast has been awesome. And Emily's podcast was absolutely ripper. So thanks for coming on, Emily, sharing your experiences, being truthfully raw, honest, funny, and super genuine. So we really appreciate it. And you've officially got the MVP. Cheers to Emily.
Cheers. Ching, ching. And that's 12 months.
How good.
Bring on the next 10 years, baby.
What are we doing in the next 12 months?
What are we doing?
Can you imagine what we've achieved in our first 12 months and what we're going to be achieving in the next 12?
Oh, mate, it gives me goosebumps. Honestly, I just get so excited. I can't even bottle it up.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the opportunities that are coming for everyone that's circling around this energy, and the people that took a risk on the first 12-month version of us, they're the OGs. They're the ones that you're in the bunker with them for. Your Harwells, your Limitless, your Digital Talent Lab, your Hard Yackers, your Crystal, James, everyone, you know what I mean? Tech Talent, Entrek, Ben. Emma.
Starting a recruitment agency for us, and kind of to give everyone a little bit of context on where all this comes from, starting a recruitment agency for Declan and I have changed our lives in many, many ways. Financially, amazing. Obviously, the financial aspect of starting a recruitment agency is really awesome. But more than just the money, it's being able to grow as an individual far beyond what we thought was possible, far beyond probably what you could do working for someone else. And we're super passionate about being able to give other recruiters that opportunity to grow beyond what they thought was possible, start a brand for themselves without having to risk everything on the line to do it, with the support, the systems, the community to egg them on and tell them that they can do it. Because sometimes all you need, mate, is just a conversation with someone to go, hey, you know what? You're really good. You should have a crack at this. And it just completely changes someone's life.
Well, mate, that COVID conversation that we had just obviously changed our lives.
Yeah. So, that's where all this passion comes from, and in being able to help recruiters, unlock their true potential and be able to start a brand for themselves, not lose sight of, what we're all in this for, which is a good quality of life. It's to be amongst good people, surround ourselves with, people that are going to lift us up and make us better, and ultimately achieve our slogan, which is #BetterTogether.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for the support. We'll be doing this till we're grey. I think we're already almost there.
We already are grey, but we'll do this until we're bald. And we'll see you for the next episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed the 12-month wrap-up of what Confessions and Xrecruiter has been like. Appreciate everyone's support. And hey, if you've got any good suggestions for podcast guests, or if you want us to mix it up and do something
topics,
differently,
insights,
send us a DM, send us a message, say, hey, I've got a good idea. Why don't you do this? And we're always wanting to mix it up and provide some value. So the next few podcasts, we're going to get super specific and practical. We're going to get straight to the meat and potatoes of our next, line of guests. What do you bill? How do you pitch it? How do you float candidates? And start getting really tangible moving forward. So I think our podcast game over the next 12 months is going to level up quite a lot, and I'm super excited for kind of the new way that we're going to be interviewing guests and how we're going to get the info out of them and make sure we keep delivering value to the audience. So stick around. You're not going to want to miss the next 12 months.
See you, baby.
See you, baby. Thanks for tuning in to another Confessions of a Recruiter podcast with Blake and Declan. We hope you enjoyed and got a lot of value and insights out of this episode. If you do have any questions or you would like to recommend someone to come on the Confessions podcast, we would love any introductions. And remember the rule of the podcast: like, share, and recommend it to a friend. Until next time.